this is Killer back with another battle report. This time we will be playing the second game in the Cripple Ripple tournament. This time we're up against the Saurian, famous Spanish player, who I think participated a lot of times in this tournament here, and I think this is my third game against him in total. Today he's playing an interesting ogre list with a lot of chaff in it, and I on the other hand I'm playing an interesting Saurian ancient list with no characters in it. And if you watch any of my previous battle reports, you've probably seen this list there because I've been playing it for the last few. I've been playing it for 2 tournaments now, and I think it still needs improvements. But anyway, jumping right into the battle here, and the objective was the capture the flag, I believe, and the deployment was the what's it called, Dawn Assault, I think it was. I get to choose side, and I choose the bottom side here to try and detain him with the double impossible terrain on his side, and I've been having a lot of trouble with this list with maps that don't allow me to deploy particularly wide. So I wanted to pick a side where I could place my units in a very wide. Yeah. So that's why I picked bot here. All his spells, he's playing Shaman. If you just go through, we can look at his list just real quickly. Obviously, there's nothing really fancy about it. The character setup is very standard. Flaming on his BSB though, and then obviously the killer ogre lord, and then usually just a mage in there with a shamanism. 2 giants and three what are they called? Frost mounties, whatever they called. Yetis, right? Frost Yetis here, which you don't see too often. And then a unit of 3 Tuskers. And a big unit of Scrablings, or whatever they're called. And 2 Kin Eaters. So it's a little bit unusual list. You don't see these units too often, I feel. But I played against a similar. I think I played Orion against before, and he played a similar list, and it's pretty annoying to play against. And as you can see here, I have the no character list here, but a lot of units here, right? So there's basically, if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kindish British units, right? Which is not bad, and not only that, it's combined with a lot of chaff. There's like 2, 3, 4 chaff units, and then there's some really good Skaven Swarm, Saurian Swarms units. Good on the flank, right? So overall a very strong list, but it lacks magic, right? It has almost no magic, and it's quite severe not to have magic, honestly. Anyways, let's jump right into it here. So obviously I get to choose the side. And so he decided to drop it off of turn 1, and I think turn 1 looks like this after him. So he's just kind of all in, right? And before the game here, I was thinking actually I wanted this matchup. I wanted my big unit of Tego warriors with the 4 Caimans in there to not get charged by his ogre boss, but I would like to have them in combat. So I was pretty happy about him advancing here a lot, because then I thought I could probably and he did something interesting here, and then he decided to use his Yetis in turn 1 to chaff off my units here, which I was a little bit surprised about, because I didn't felt like it did too much. I'm not sure what the what he was trying to achieve with it, right? Trading chaff with me, maybe. Like if I attack with my big Tego warriors, attack his Yetis, I would have to chaff his big boss, right? So it's sort of like a chaff trade he decided to do here, but I have a lot more chaff than he has, so I think I'll be happy to take it. So yeah, that surprised me a little bit. But anyway, he doesn't do a whole lot. He do cast some magic, but I think he throws 3 dice on Chilling Wind and he fails it. And from there on, it's kind of easy for me to dispel the rest of his spells. So he does get 1 spell through. I can't remember what it was, but it was nothing important, I believe. He has no shooting, right? So my turn here. So this is my turn 1 we are watching here. So obviously I decided to charge the Yetis on the flank with my Strigosaurs here. And I'm kind of thinking like here on the flank here, that this flank here should be favorable for me. Because apart from the Tuskers, right, I think everything, all of my units beats his unit here. So I was pretty, and I have the 6 Cayman, 5 Caymans here to assist on the flank if needed. So I was kind of confident here, and I was also confident on the other side. To be honest, I felt like a giant and 2 Yetis and Kin Eater should not be stronger than 3 Strigosaurs and 6 Saurian Swarms plus a little bit of shooting. So I felt confident on the flanks, and I felt confident in the middle as well here. So overall, I think actually it was a good matchup for me. Anyway, I charged here obviously, and I charged here, and then I tried to move up my salamanders here to shoot him, and then I would get moved away, so I was 6 inches away from here, so I would get stand and shoot 2 times on him, just try and maybe eradicate 1 rank before he reached my big unit here. That was sort of my goal with them, and obviously make sure that I got the charge. So I end up doing something like this, and it turns out I made a pretty big mistake here. He can actually reel around me here, so that was pretty terrible. He managed to he can reel around me here, and obviously then he can charge straight onto my Taker Warriors here. I do get strength buff up on my Taker Warrior, so I do have strength 5 to when he comes, right? But not an ideal scenario. That was annoying. That was also the fact that he's gonna get a flank attack on me here with the and he's scraplings here as well. So overall, that was a very bad chaffing, big mistake here. So he's turn 2, as you can see here. He's turn 2 here, and he's kind of all out here, right? He reached my big block with his big block, and he kills my salamanders very beautiful, easily. You get a flying attack off them, so I can only use 1 breath weapon, and I decided that I have to chaff off the obviously, because I was expecting, I made the reason why I as you can see here, I chaffed off the Tusker units with my spearbacks, but that was because I thought I had chaffed them off with my my salamanders, so he would charge them here, and then he would be here at the end of the combat phase in my turn 1. At the end of my turn 1's combat phase, he would be here, and I would be finished fighting the Yetis. If you look at the VBC, if you look at the other picture here, and I would be finished fighting the Yetis, and then I would be able to, so it would be like I will run here, he stands here, and then I could charge here, and then he would spend the turn in here to fight these guys. That was the plan. But now he can just wheel around these guys anyway. Then I didn't have to chaff off his Tusker here. So I just threw away my spearbacks, wasted my salamanders, and I'm getting charged by his boss unit here in the front, in my big unit here. So not the best first turn, right? Not the best first turn. Yeah. So this is the first turn here. His magic phase here, he has some pretty bad magic in this phase here. He only managed, he rolled a 1, right? So he cast I think it's 2 spells. One of them was it? I can't remember. 2 debuff spells on my unit, or 1 debuff and 1 buff on himself. 2 debuff or something like that. He gets, in any case, he gets through the heritage spells, -1 to wound. But I have the Awaken the Beast +1 strength, so that sort of evens it out. And on the left side flank here, he finds a nice, like, what do you call it, a butter hole. In Danish we say a butter hole here, but he finds a night hole here where he struggle out of my line of sights. So I have to spend another turn to wheel around, and then when I finally managed to wheel around, he would probably just tap me off again. So this was pretty annoying. However, my big unit of the Tega Warriors here, if my Salamander managed to hold, I might be able to find a way to charge and flank these ogres if my big unit doesn't run. But I mean, I'm more ranks than he has, and my BSB is in here, so and I'm leadership 8, 7 with fear, right? So but still, I'm leadership 7 with the reroll. So I should hold, and if I hold, maybe I could get a flank charge here, or force them to move over here, and then my Caimans could come in and charge here. So I felt like the front here was, despite me being charged here, which is not obviously not very good, I felt it was still savable. I could still save some of it. So his turn 2 ended up like this. After combat, let's see how combat goes. Yeah, so he ends up killing how many guys? I think he killed like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 guys. So he did 10 wounds, right? Not fantastic, honestly. Maybe he rolled a bit below average. Good question. But he did 10 wounds. And I did a challenge. Oh yeah, I did a challenge with my champion to just take to soften the impact. I don't know if that's correct or not. I probably should not do that, but I did it just to soften the impact. And also because I had the beast, the shaman's hereditary attribute spell on so he would only wound me on 5s, and I had strength 5 myself. I had 3 attacks, so he was actually pretty beefy, right? My champion was decently beefy. Anyway, he managed to kill him, and I do how many wounds? I also do a decent amount of wounds, as you can see here. I think I did like 10 or 12 wounds. How many? He's 8, 10, turns into 5, 6. Yeah, so I killed 4 of these guys, so I did like 12 wounds. I think I actually did more wounds than he did. The reason this combat here is not too bad for me, and the reason why I won it in the first place is that his characters can do the swirling attack on my Caimans, right? So he has to hit these, he has that lethal something legacy of some famous ogre guy that it does D3 wounds, right? As long as he can hit my Caimans, I'm thinking like the Lord, he doesn't do too much here. Anyway. So when my turn 2 goes, I managed to hold my salamanders up here, and I can reform them. But he does get 2 wounds on me. So my turn 2 here, that's him. We had a long talk about how to reform and how could we avoid each other charges and stuff. So he ends up doing something like this, because that's the only way he could avoid my my Tega Warriors, the big unit of my Tega Warriors to flank charge his ogres here. So, but I still do get a charge with my my Cayman Elders here, but how he has his Lord here, so I'm gonna be taking D3 wounds in the face, right? So he wounding on 3s, he hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s, and do D3 wounds. So it's gonna hurt a lot. And looking back at it, I think I should have prioritized my Caimans should have hit his Lord and his BSB instead of the unit, because I think getting rid of those guys would do a lot in terms of the combat, particularly when I have so many large infantry models. Anyway, my turn 2 here. As you can see here, we are turn 2, and it's pretty much already all out. So I went in with a Cayman anyway because I figured 12 attacks, 27 would probably still be beneficial for me, despite his lord doing a lot of wounds. I went out to Chaffy's Tuskers here and charged with my Strigosaur here, so I think my right side flank looking good. Chaffing his Tuskers with my spear, my Saurian Swarms here, and he can only reach me with one guy, and I have 8 attacks. He has 6 attacks. I mean, he even has to do a dangerous terrain test, right? I mean, he has to do 2 actually. As overall, I was thinking like, yeah, this looks pretty good. And as mentioned before, on the left side flank, he found a great hole here, so I had to spend a turn to turn around, and I try and use my chameleon skinks to like build a wall of a cogger wall here to stop him from advancing. Not too good. It's not a brilliant idea, but it was what I could think of. Magic, not a whole lot happening. Sorry about that. Yeah, so not a whole lot happening. So this is after combat, right? This is his turn. Oh yeah. So I managed to kill the Kin Eater here, and I decided to overrun. I needed a 10 to hit his Tuskers, and looking back on that, that's probably a big mistake. I have no reason to do that because he can't charge me, and I have absolutely no need to charge him here while he still has his giant threatening for a flank charge. I could just be very happy holding him here with my Saurian Swarms for a while. Yeah. Here I managed to do a few wounds. I don't do too many wounds, as you can see here. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He was 6, 7 ogres before the combat, and after the combat he's 1, 2, 3. So I basically managed to do as many wounds as I did the last time, with 12 extra attack. So and I'm still not hitting his characters, which is obvious. It's a big mistake, obviously. You have to hit the characters, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So his turn, right? So this is his turn 3. So he's it's starting to look real dire for me. It doesn't look too good, does it? He's chewing through my salamanders. I managed to run into his Tuskers, but he gets a lot of charges. And what I didn't think about is that he also gets a giant charge. So if my Strigosaurus loses combat and flees, he can choose to have me fleeing towards the center, which means that his Tuskers can also run this way and hit the Saurian Swarms in the flank, which is obviously not ideal. So overall, a lot of bad choices here. He obviously decides to charge him with 1 Kin Eater to my chameleon skinks here, turn around and to chaff off my Strigosaurs and my Saurian Swarms with the other 2 guys here. So yeah, this is the situation here in the turn 3 here. He has another magic phase. Obviously also he uses his giant to chaff off my Take Warriors. So at the end of turn 3, he managed to have a real bad magic phase again. I only get 1 spell through, which obviously is really good for me in the big combat here. But as you can see here, he's this is after the combat here, and I have 4 Saurian warriors left, Take Warriors left. He's 3 characters in there and a champion. So it's looking a little bit dark right now, right? He's managing to move through my strongest unit here, and I'm about to lose my BSB as well, and the flank are also not going too well, are they? But anyway, we keep on fighting. We keep on fighting. No, not giving up yet here. So this is my yeah, I don't know what happened to the magic face. Something is wrong here. It's his turn. It's his turn 4 here, or my turn 4. It's my turn 4, or I think it's my turn 3. And I'm not sure why the magic card shows a different scenario, but it's my turn 3 here. And here something funny happens. Well, we everything is in combat, right? Approximately, it looks very similar to turn 2, right? So not much a lot to talk about the movement here, right? Except I'm charging the chaff right here, and that's about it. And I charge this giant here, and then my magic phase. I get off the I only have one. Yeah, because the last combat, this combat here, I lose. The big combat here, I lose. But I managed to stay with my Take a Warrior unit, but my Cayman unit run. My Cayman L units run. And they fail their leadership 8 rally check, so they run off the board. I was pretty annoying. I think I lost by 1 or something, and then I ran off the board. So I only have 1 spell left, and that's Savage Fury. So I decided to use a lot of dice to try and cast Savage Fury on these guys here. And I managed to get the Savage Fury, so now I'm immune to fear and have battle focus. And I see if we just roll to his turn. Yeah, so what happens here is that I throw 6 attacks on his BSB, who's over here. And I throw 6 attacks at him, and I managed to roll 2 battle focus on him and 1 hit. So I get 5 hit on him. Exactly, 5 hits. And then I kill him. I kill him with 6 attacks. Which was pretty big. Pretty big. And I managed to do 2 wounds to his shaman. And I mean, I should have done this way earlier. This could have happened 2 turns ago. I could have killed the BSB and his shaman way earlier. Anyway, lesson learned. So that happens. But apart from that, his turn here, his turn 4, right? He managed to overrun. Obviously, he wins the combat here. He managed to overrun these guys here. He managed to overrun here. He's starting to move in with the giant. My Saurian swarms are slowly crumbling down. All I really have going for me is this Trigosaur unit over here. And he managed to hold me with his Kin Eater here. He get the flank charge into... my Tech Warriors unit actually managed to win the combat against his giant and send him fleeing. Not that it does a whole lot, but he started fleeing. His Kin Eaters obviously kills the my Gorilla Skinks, and he gets to charge me in the flank here right here with my Tech Warriors. And these Kin Eaters with a little bit of magic buff are really annoying to deal with. I think he got off like -1 to hit and -1 to wound. And so I was hitting him 6s, and if I failed my fear test, so I was hitting on 6s, wounding on 6s, and it was pretty rough, honestly. Anyway, I do manage to get one important thing here. I managed to kill this unit over here, the Yetis. I killed them in 1 turn here, so I kill him in 1 turn here. So it's my turn now. It's my turn 4 here. And I decided to charge the giant, which he decided to flee with. So instead, I don't really have any alternatives. So I decided to charge this Lord unit, his mage and the Lord down here. And I needed 12 to hit him. It was sort of just because I couldn't hit anything else, and I was thinking, like, I don't have, because last round I turned around and started facing this Kin Eater and only has 1 wound left. So even though I hit on 6s, wounding on 6s, I should still be able to kill him. So I decided to go for this one down here, which I needed 12, because I'm obviously really behind on points, and he has the objective. So I thought I needed something really big if I was to turn the game around, or at least aim for a draw. So I figured why not go for the long charge here. And oh, that was and I managed to get it. And yeah, we can take the next picture here just for the fun of it, right? So I managed to get the charge on 12. I don't fail a single dangerous terrain test running over the ruin. And then when I hit him exactly so I cannot wheel enough to get his lord into combat. So I'm only in combat with his mage, and the mage has already taken 2 wounds. So if I do more than 2 wounds, then his lord will come down and start hitting me, right? But I only managed to do 1 wound on him, and I have a charge, and he has no banner, so he loses by 2. So he's on a leadership 7, and he fails his and he doesn't do any wounds to me, obviously. So he loses by 2. He fails his leadership check, it is an attack here, and he runs off. So that was 1500 point or something, 1400 points I got for free there, 1500. Which obviously turned the game around, at least it was sort of a comeback for me. So now we're probably looking at a draw or something like that. So this is the end of the game. This is where it ends, I think. So he managed to kill my last unit of skink gorillas. He decided to charge with his scrapplings here because he thought he wanted to go for the win here. So he charges them in the flank and hoping for the best. But yeah, they lose. I didn't kill his kin eater though, but they lose. But I kill enough scrapplings to win the combat, so they start running. So I get half point for those. And my Saurian swarms up here kill his last kin eater. So this is the end of the battle here. Yeah, so this is the end of the battle. Quite action-packed battle here with a very lucky turn 6, saving me the game from not being totally annihilated. And the end result is something like, what was it? Let me just take a look here. I think it was the point-wise it was a 9-11 to his in his favor. But I did kill more points than he did, didn't I? Let me just see here. Yeah, so it's 11-9 to him. Oh, we played in circle, right? And I managed to... Yeah, I won on points. I won by 700 points. So overall, even if I didn't kill his general and his mates and last turn, right? I mean, the game was still a bit somewhat close. Maybe a 15-5 or something like that. But in any case... it's a 9-11 at the end of the game. It was a pretty fun game. Made some really big mistakes. The salamanders in the early game. And just to recap real quickly, I think there was a lot of mistakes made in this game here. The salamander here didn't chaff him off. The right side flank, the movement was not very sharp, so I was getting outplayed a lot by him running inside of my and outside of my vision fields. The same happened on the right side flank here, and I let him get the charge on my biggest block here while and I cannot even hit with all my guys. I mean, I think he did everything in his power to win the game here, but I think overall it's just a very rough matchup. The list itself is really good against his list, I felt. Basically because there's so many wounds, so many bodies, and on the map. Yeah, but anyway, that was the game. The next game I'm gonna have coming up is the next game in the new resolution tournament we have going here. It's not going too well, but let's see if we can turn it around here the next game. Thank you for watching, and take care.